In the beginning, what? God. Okay. Well, we're talking prayer, though. When did it really start? Let me tell you what I have found from my recent study and reflection. I believe it's the first example of prayer in Genesis. You can mark this down. It might be in your bulletin. But in Genesis chapter 4, verse 26. And listen to this in verse 25. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son and named him Seth. For God has appointed another seed for me instead of Abel, whom Cain killed. And as for Seth, to him also a son was born, and he named him Enosh. And then men began to, watch this, then men began to call upon the name of the Lord. This is the first place I could find where men and where the people of God were calling upon the name of the Lord. It comes immediately after the first heinous crime ever committed in all of creation, when one brother murders another brother. I think prayer may have begun with or without this, but I do think it's rather significant that such an evil act of violence led people to pray. Well, Pastor, you're not too bad. No, you're not too bad either. But what's it going to take to get you to call upon God? In that time, the people began to call on the name of the Lord. Why? Because look at what had happened. His son was killed. His son was slain by his brother. Son killing son. He prays and God gives him a new son. And that son had sons. And it continued on. Men began to call upon the name of the Lord from that time on. And then we see other examples of prayer. Here in Genesis, in chapter 16. And listen. The angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. And it was a spring that is beside the road to Shur. And he said, Hagar, slave of Sarai, where have you come from? Where are you going? Show of hands. Anybody know who Hagar is? Well, Pastor, you just told me that was slave of Sarai. Okay, who is Sarai? Abraham's wife. What's the deal? Where is Hagar? Why is Hagar off someplace in the desert? See, Hagar is the woman Sarai set up with her husband to lie with her, to have a son. She was taken